My stupid fucking hair. Stop it. Stop being like that. Okay. Okay, that sucked. Hey guys, it's Jen and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be doing a full face of drugstore makeup, starting with this awesome foundation from Wet n Wild, and this is their newly formulated Dewy Photo Finish Foundation. Now the reason why I went ahead and picked this up is because my friend here on YouTube, Mona, from About Face with Mona, and I'm going to be linking her channel down below, did a video listing her favorite foundations, and that was amongst one of her favorite foundations for the more affordable ones. And I've never tried the Photo Finish Foundation from Wet n Wild. I've heard a lot of things about it. I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I've yet to try it. So I really do trust Mona's opinion. I value what she has to say. She's very educated on skincare and makeup, and I just like her as a person. She's just a really amazing lady, and it's her birthday this month. Happy birthday, Mona. Hope you had a great birthday. You know I love you, girl. So I'm going to go ahead and give this foundation a try and see how I like it. Among other things, I've got, well, I'm going to be using a lot of stuff that I already have drugstore-wise. I also have the new, well, new-ish e.l.f. Retro Paradise eyeshadow palette. Now, I've already seen Mona do a look on this. I've seen a lot of people already talking about this, but I still wanted to go ahead and give it a shot. I don't know, I really like this color story. I think that it's got a lot of really fun shadows in here, and that I just couldn't resist. I really, really wanted to try this. And the rest of the stuff that we're going to be using today is going to be things that I've already used on this channel, but we've got the full face of makeup going. We've got ColourPoP lipstick, we've got e.l.f. concealer, we have the Masterchrome highlight, and I'm even going to be using from my Dollar Tree haul this Beauty Benefits bronzer today because I actually really like this one. So it did make it in my regular rotation. So this is going to be our bronzer today. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to put my hair up, I'm going to prime my eyes, and we're going to get started with the eyeshadow palette. And then we're going to hop into the foundation, try all this stuff out, have fun with it, and then come back for our final thoughts. I even have my e.l.f. lashes from my e.l.f. video, so those are going to be our drugstore lashes today. So I'm kind of like, I'm looking forward to doing this. This is going to be fun. We're going to have a good time today. And if that sounds interesting, if you can understand what I just said, then you're awesome, and you know, my hat's off to you. But I'm not wearing a hat, so I guess it doesn't really matter. So if that sounds like fun to you, then stick around because we are going to get started now. We're all primed up and the hair is up and all that fun stuff is happening. And what I can initially say about this e.l.f. palette is I love how they've had this securely taped closed. It was kind of a pain in the butt to open it, so I got to appreciate e.l.f. for doing the whole security tape it closed deal, because you know a lot of times at drugstore or Target people get their hands on stuff and they start to mess with it. Well, this one was definitely not messed with because it took me a minute to, like I'm doing right now, to get the tape off of this sucker. Oh, I want to leave that on actually. I'm taking the whole damn thing off. Sorry, not that part. That part will stay. So here's our awesome fun shades to play with. Looks like this little green one got kind of jacked up and it's a little cracked, but let's go ahead and swatch it just because, oh, it's so soft. Oh my gosh, shocking. Swatch that right there. Ooh, that's pretty. Oh, that's very pretty. I like that. I don't know if I'm going to go with green today, but wow, it's very pigmented. That's nice. And this shade right here, Sea Salt. Oh, let's feel that. That's really nice too. They're so soft. Oh, it's so soft it didn't even show up. Stomach. There's Sea Salt. Come on, Sea Salt. Ooh, yeah, you can't even see it. Salt. Can't see salt. Trying to see it. Oh, there you go. It's got a really pretty reflect to it, but that is definitely a topper if you ask me. Let's go ahead and dip into Fuego, and we're going to lay that down in the crease, and then we're going to go from there and hope that my battery doesn't die, or else I'll have to, plug it back in. Wow. Okay, so we have some pigment. I've been really enjoying those minis that e.l.f. has been putting out. Those bite-sized palettes have been really great. So this is the first and only large e.l.f. eyeshadow palette that I own, and it did grab my attention right away. And this isn't the only thing that they've been launching with their little summer collection. They have the body bronzers, which basically to me looks very much like the Patrick Ta. It's like an oil that has glitter in it. They have a face primer that's like it's a dewy face primer, face oil I believe it is, if I'm not mistaken. I'll try and find the photos of it and pop it up on screen for you guys so you can see it here. That also didn't really do anything for me. I'm not a big primer gal, you guys know. I just very rarely go for primer. Let's go into Caliente. Pick some of that up. Let's just deepen this up a little bit. They also had highlighters in their collection, but they looked really glittery to me, and I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it, so I didn't pick that up. The one thing that I really wanted was the one thing I got, and that was this eyeshadow palette. They also had some brushes that I'm kind of curious about, but I still passed on them because I just wasn't curious enough to where I actually wanted to purchase them. But they're really pretty, they're cute, and there's nothing wrong with them. e.l.f. makes some really nice brushes. I just didn't really want them. I have a ton of brushes. I don't really need it, so I didn't buy it. But this eyeshadow palette's super cute, and so far it's blending like a dream, having no major issues with it, so thank God for that. So it's kind of a toss-up between coconut and cacao. So I'm thinking they're both very similar, actually. So I guess it doesn't really matter. So I think I'll go in with cacao, and I will deepen up the outer portion of my eye with the shade. And again, it's a little powdery, but it's nice. So let's go ahead and place that right here. Just kind of create like the shape that I want, and then blend it in with this brush that already has our orangey red shades on there, so that it just kind of blends in nicely, makes a nice gradient. See how that just kind of shears in beautifully together? And there is a little fallout, but I'm not super stressed on that. That's why I'm doing my eyes first, just in case. I love the pigment in this, making me very happy. I'm just kind of like patting it on, almost like creating a wing with it, laying it on the side of my eye right there. And then going back in with this brush and just gently sweeping it and tapping it into the crease just to deepen that up. It's looking a little patchy right there. It didn't do that on that eye, but I can see where it's kind of patching up a little bit. So I'm going to grab a little bit more and tap that in there. And just kind of tap it over so that I can bring that color back into, there we go, back into, there we go. That didn't make any sense. But just to kind of fix that little area that kind of went away, blended away. And as long as I can fix it, then it's not really any kind of a problem for me. So now what do I want to do for the shimmer? What do we want to do for our shimmer? What would be fun? Ooh, oh my goodness. How are we feeling about Sip Sip? Do we like this right here? Let's swatch this. See if we like it. Ooh, that's kind of pretty. So if I did Sip Sip and put sea salt on top of it, that might be kind of fun. So I'm going to grab Sip Sip on a flat brush, and I'm going to pack that on my lid and hope that I like how it looks. You know what I'm going to do real quick is I'm just going to wet the brush, pick up a little more Sip Sip, and see if we can give it a foiled look. Oh yeah, much better. I'm gonna wet my brush again, and then I'm gonna go into sea salt, and we're gonna put that in the inner corner of the eye. That is beautiful. I love that. I think I'm gonna take that a little more into Sip Sip. All right, I'm liking it so far. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue to work on the eyes, then we're gonna hop back on, and we're gonna try that foundation. Excited. Okay, so eyes are basically done. I don't really like that NYX liner. This is the second time I've used it, and it's bleeding horribly into every little crack in the inner corner of my eye. So, not really recommending this NYX liner. This is their wing liner that they have. I recently purchased this, and it's NYX, That's the Point. I've never really had a problem with any of their formulas before, but this one is really bleeding a lot, so I just wanted to make mention of that before I went any further. But for the most part, our eyes are done, and they're pretty. And now we're going to try this foundation and see if it makes my skin pretty, I hope. And this has a spatula, so let's go ahead and see if it matches my face. Let me just put it on the back of my hand. That spatula's kind of freaking me out. I gotta be honest, I'm like, ugh. It's giving me a nervo. So let's try it this way where I feel a little less freaked out. Okay, it's kind of light. All right, well, what did I get? I got the shade Buff Beige, so I would think it would work for me, but it doesn't smell very good either. But I've heard from many people that it has a really chemically smell, but it goes away. So I'm gonna trust that it goes away, trust the process, and blend this into my face. Offering a nice luminosity, it's very pretty. It does stink though. What is that smell? It's like, is that like turpentine or something like that? Why is it reminding me of that? It's like definitely a chemically smell. And I can still see my skin poking through, so it's not like full-on coverage. I'd call it like a medium coverage. I do like the luminosity on it though. It's very pretty. See if it oxidizes on my face. That would probably be a really good thing. So I'm just gonna dab my brush in and we're gonna do this side. Okay, so that is foundation on, and it's not that bad. It's actually very pretty. It's very comfortable. It's not super heavy. It doesn't feel strange. The smell is starting to dissipate. It's not really bothering me. I mean, I only just applied it, but it does look really nice on the skin. It's laying down nicely. Again, it's not full coverage for me. I can still see my skin through it. I can still see my imperfections and all that stuff. It does give a nice look to the skin, and I'm gonna have to let it dry down a little bit more before I can have any other final thoughts on it. But right now, I can say honestly that I like it. I think it's pretty decent. And people are really hyping it up, and people do really love this. This is, for a lot of people, this is their holy grail foundation. So I'm curious. I'm gonna let it wear on my face a little bit and see how I feel about it as the day goes on. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and finish up with my bronzer and all my other stuff that you guys have already seen. And then we're gonna come back and I'll wear this for a little while. We'll see what happens, and we'll do a little wear test on this. Maybe not like a really long wear test, but long enough to get a feel for, you know, how we feel about it and get some final thoughts on it. Okay guys, and this is the finished look, and to be quite honest, I'm really liking it. It's giving me very much the summer vibes, and I'm actually enjoying it. So let's do a rundown on the products that we tried today, the newbies, because as you guys know, like the Masterchrome and the ColourPoP lipstick and all the other stuff, I've already used that. We've already talked about that. So we're gonna go ahead and settle on these two lovely little items that we played with today. First up being the foundation. Now, I'm going to have this on for a little while, so if anything should happen, I will let you guys know. If anything gets strange, if it oxidizes, if it breaks up, falls apart, you're going to know about it. I will definitely tell you. But as it is right now, I think it looks absolutely lovely. It has oxidized, as you can see. Not tremendously to where it's like really terrible, but enough to where it does look a bit more fitting for my skin tone, I would say. It's oxidized, but it's oxidized in a good way to where it matches my skin tone just a bit more, and that's something that I really like. I do still see my skin through it. It's not causing any texture. It's not causing a lot of wrinkles or anything crazy like that to show up. It's actually a really nice foundation. I mean, at least so far. And, you know, so far I like it. So I'm going to have it on for a while. We're going to wear it, give it a bit of a wear test, see how we feel about it, and we being me. And I will let you guys know in the description box below or somewhere in this video if anything is to be a problem, or I'll hop back on and film it so you guys can see if I see anything that's horribly wrong with it. But truly, I think it's a nice foundation, and for the price, it's either $6.99 or $5.99, which I'll also put in the description below because I'm forgetting right now, but I'm allowed to because I'm old and it's all right. I can forget stuff. Okay, let's move on to this e.l.f. Retro Paradise palette. And I have to say, I really enjoy this eyeshadow palette. I think that the pigment is there. It's very easy to blend. It's actually quite lovely. The only issue I had with this was the cacao shade, and as I would try and blend that out, it became patchy just on one eye. I don't know why. It's my right eye always seems to be the problematic eye. I have no idea why. It rhymes, but that wasn't my intention. But it just is. I've always had trouble with my right eye, and I've always had to struggle with it with a lot of different eyeshadows, a lot of different formulas, a lot of different brands. It's just the way it goes. So it was no exception with this one. I just went ahead and tapped a little more of the cacao on there and just deepened it up a bit more. And yeah, it turned out absolutely gorgeous. I think the shimmers are nice. It's definitely worth it. It's $14, so I don't know. I'm glad I picked it up. I have to say, I'm really impressed with the eyeshadow palette. I like e.l.f. in general. I think that they really do put out some great products that are affordable. So, you know, e.l.f. pretty much has already won my heart. But honestly, if something was garbage, I would tell you guys. Garbage is kind of a, you know, not the nicest word, but if it were a really bad product when I tried it, believe me, you guys would know about it. This one is actually very pretty, and I really like the shades in here, and I will definitely be playing with this eyeshadow palette again. So yeah, this was worth it. Certainly worth the 14 bucks. And I like that it was all nice and taped up, securely closed, gave you that nice feeling of security and lulled me into that sense of peacefulness and tranquility that no one has touched this, and it's all nice and safe and fabulous. So, you know, works for me. Other than that, I don't know, I'm pretty much digging it. I like how everything turned out. I had fun playing with the makeup. I always have fun spending time with you guys. That's it for today's video. Like I said, if anything should happen, you'll see me pop in here somewhere going, hey guys, this happened. But for the most part, I really love how it turned out. I feel very summery. Yeah, it was fun. It does feel very summer. and it feels like it's about 100 degrees in here. So this is the end of the video. This is the finished look. I just want to thank you so much for sticking around and watching. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. I hope y'all are safe, and I hope y'all are having a beautiful day. Thanks. Bye.